In the heart of London, in the Westminster district, is the seat of political power in the United Kingdom. The Prime Minister's offices and residence, 10 Downing Street. What people don't know is that 200 meters away, under the street, is a vast hidden bunker, the War Rooms. A sensational underground citadel in concrete and steel, 6,000 square meters built over 2 levels. More than 100 rooms where up to 500 people worked day and night. A city beneath the city, constructed in just 1 year to protect Winston Churchill and his cabinet during World War II. On September 1st, 1939, World War II broke out. Soon, Britain was alone, fighting Nazi Germany after the capitulation of France and Belgium in the summer of 1940. From September 7th, London became the target of daily intensified bombing. It was the start of the Blitz. A deluge of fire and destruction. But the British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, refused to leave the capital, as did King George VI and his Queen, who decided to remain at Buckingham Palace. Churchill wanted to stay in the heat of battle, to follow the air raids with his own eyes, and to support his people. The man was stubborn, non-negotiable. So if he was to stay in town, Churchill had only one solution: to go deep into its bowels, in a recently completed secret bunker.
On the 14th of October 1940, a bomb lands close to Downing Street, the residence of the Prime Minister. From the next day, the Cabinet meets in this room at the Cabinet War Rooms.
Although Churchill loathed the idea of hiding, buried away in a bunker, he had to recognize the fact that his war cabinet needed to be sheltered. A top security megastructure of power, which would be able to keep running no matter what was happening above ground. For this, the bunker was not only equipped with ventilation, but also an impressive air filtering system.
It was a huge amount of machinery. It occupied a room about 10 meters by about 20 meters and about 2 stories high. And all it did was filter the air, because the fear was that the Germans were going to use gas or something similar. Most of the doors were gas-proofed in a very basic way, with a rubber intumescent seal around them, for instance, so that when you close them and you put the bolts in place, then it seals it close to, so getting gas in would be very difficult. But not impossible, but difficult.
It was in this confined atmosphere that every day the Prime Minister and his cabinet took the most important decisions. It was here, in this room, that the fate of the planet was decided. Still today, the cabinet room oozes with the presence of Winston Churchill, the charismatic, indomitable aristocrat with his cigar in his mouth and the future of the war on his shoulders.
So this was Churchill's chair. You can see in its armrests some sense of the tension and stress that existed in the meetings that were held here. On the right-hand side, you can see scratches from Churchill's fingernails. On the left-hand side, deeper gouges from where Churchill's signet ring had been drumming against the armrest. So even the furniture in this room reflects the high drama that played out here at the Cabinet War Rooms.
Churchill was anxious because every piece of crucial information concerning the war transited through this highly strategic place. To centralize it all, there was even a specific room, the map room. 24/7, officers of the Army, Navy, and Air Force received reports from all over the globe on ongoing battles and troop movements. At the time, the map room was a concentrate of technologies, beginning with these curious telephones.
So each of the different coloured telephones are from a different one of Britain's armed forces. Some of them are actually scrambled telephones. They scramble their signals to prevent interception by enemy agents. At times, you can imagine during a major operation like the invasion of Normandy, these phones would have been ringing constantly. And in fact, some of them are fitted with light bulbs, so they don't always have to ring. They could light up instead, which would help, I think, calm the room a little bit during stressful times.
Nothing escaped the officers who transcribed all the information in real time on these huge maps. And in 1940, everything was done by hand.
This map was used to plot the movements of convoys at sea. It's covered in thousands and thousands of tiny pinholes where the little markers were moved. In some places, the map has been so worn out by all these pinholes that they've actually had to repair it. Here, by Gibraltar, there's a triangle of fresh paper which has been laid over this bottleneck into the Mediterranean. And it's incredible to imagine the sheer density. There are thousands and thousands of pinholes, especially on the sea routes leading to Great Britain.
Following the war live, with thumbtacks. And since every minute was crucial, an ingenious system of tubes was installed to send documents almost instantly to everyone present in the bunker.
So here in the map room, you can also see some examples of kind of office equipment that would have been typical in the 1930s and 1940s. This is a pneumatic vacuum tube, a way of sending message canisters by tubing all over the complex.
An ultra-connected bunker designed to function with total autonomy. It had its own kitchens, and bedrooms were installed, even for Winston Churchill, in his private apartment just next to the map room. The Prime Minister spent hours there, lying on his bed, dictating his directives and speeches to his secretaries. His own very personal way of working. And as for his desk, even that was equipped with astonishing technology for the time.
You have a couple of radio microphones here on the desk. These remind us that one of Britain's most powerful weapons during the Second World War was actually Churchill's rhetoric and his oratory, his speaking. From these microphones, connected up to broadcasting equipment elsewhere in the Cabinet war rooms, Churchill could speak to the country and to the whole world. So from this desk was a centre point, really, of Churchill's kind of propaganda war effort.
No one should blind himself to the fact that a heavy, full-scale invasion of this island is being prepared with all the usual...
A room from which Winston Churchill would make 4 speeches which have gone down in history.
It may be launched at any time now.
But it was in another room in the bunker, not far away, that the fate of the free world would be played out. The most mysterious room inside the whole megastructure, and Winston Churchill had access to it.
So this is an especially secret room. Few knew its true purpose.
If you put most secret on it, you'd probably produce the opposite. People were going to listen at the door at the very least. And so what the British did in a beautifully British way was they disguised it as toilets for Churchill's, and therefore you're not going to go inside there.
So what secrets lay behind this door camouflaged as the entrance to a toilet?
Behind this soundproof door was the transatlantic telephone room, a hotline to the United States. This room was installed in 1943. It provided a top-secret, secure telephone line.
The Americans bring over their Sig Sally scrambler, and they put one in here for Churchill to use, or at least they put a connection in for him here, so that he can talk to the president in complete secrecy. That technology was ultra-modern.
This ultra-modern technology in 1943 was a 55-ton machine. A vocoder, which, for the first time in the world, fused a human voice with an electronic voice, encrypting it and making it indecipherable. The terminal was located 2.5 kilometers away, in the basement of a department store requisitioned by the U.S. Army and linked to the war rooms by cable. a war machine that Churchill would have to learn how to use.
On the shelf above the desk is a small sign marked X-ray instructions. X-ray was the code name for this top-secret digital scrambler system. It includes little pieces of advice, such as loud speech is not necessary and will impair the quality of signal transmission. It's hard to imagine, you've got to try and imagine, I suppose, Churchill being told to stay calm and measured and to speak in a soft voice in order to make sure the equipment worked properly.
A line that would never be decoded by the Germans. And thanks to it, Churchill and Roosevelt could begin planning in secret the future landings in German-occupied Europe. It was in this underground megastructure, thought to be ultra-securitized, that history was written.